Good evening, Verson Bola, hail Carib-Sport. Well, let's get to it. I'm talking primarily about the Curacao Trinidad match and what's happening with Jamaica in their next couple of matches and the possibility of the top two spots. Let's go with it. Well, Trinidad went up against Curacao. A lot of people back home seem a little disappointed because we don't have the top two locked in, especially the first spot. And, we could have won in Curacao. I think people need to have a grip on reality. The moment we drew against Curacao in Port of Spain and lost to Jamaica, we were halfway out of it. We're hanging on by our fingernails, and only some good old math is going to save us right now. Had we won in Trinidad, we wouldn't be this panicked. So we just have to accept that. And, going to Curacao and winning was not going to be, how do I say this, an automatic, a foregone conclusion. This is a team, Curacao, that hasn't lost at home in about 13 matches. This is a team in their most recent match beat Jamaica 2-0, a country that beat us 2-0. A country that's ranked around number 68, 69 in the world. We are ranked 101, 102. Okay? So to think we were going to go in there against Curacao with a plethora of first and second division players from the Netherlands and other European based leagues was like, we had a shot. But at the end of the day, we put up a good performance. Both teams played good football. Both teams could have won. Both teams hit the bar. All right. So I think we have to have a certain dose of reality. We could have won. We dominated them in all aspects of possession, shots on goal, and so on. At the end of the day, we walked off with a draw. We surprised people. We were the decided underdogs before this match around the world. I can tell you that. Again, we did something the Jamaicans didn't do. We scored a goal. We didn't lose. Not great right now in terms of topping the group because we can't top the group. 50-50 about coming second. But when you don't win at home, this is what happens. Okay, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about some of the players. Cardenas, this is a guy who his mistake led to the goal. But before and after that guffaw, he played such good football. And had he not done that, I would have tied him with Spicer for man of the match, in my opinion. This man, I don't know if it's my imagination, but he seems to be getting better with every match. He's only 19 years old. All right. So what happened? First 5 minutes, Trinidad and Tobago had a lot of possession and presence in the opponent's half. And for the first 15 minutes, we were doing a very good job with possession and entering the final third. Then slowly, Curacao started to come on. And in the 19th minute, the ball was curled in from the right. Cardenas, I don't know, he was off balance, almost stuck a foot out. Didn't get to it. Kind of stumbled. The Dutchman went around him and curled it to the far right. Scored. Had it not been for that, we probably would have won this game, but it happened. There's credit for the rest of the match. Cardenas played very well and had a say in Trinidad and Tobago's goal. So 58th minute, it's a goal for Trinidad and Tobago. Cardenas gets a loose ball. From the right, he curls it in for Molino, who under pressure, in front of, just to the left of the goal, hooks it back for Spicer, bullets a left footer past the goalkeeper into the roof of the net. Spicer has now scored 2 goals in 2 matches. Just as I was saying, he can't score, he starts to score. Yes, the last match was Bermuda, but this was against Curacao. So good for Spicer, good for Trinidad and Tobago. And I just lost my camera feed. Hold on, sorry about that. These technical aspects of my studio. All right, back to it. So let's continue. So let's talk about the players. As I said, Cardenas, good game. Other than that mistake, he continues to contribute. He curls in well. He's useful on free kicks. I was a little surprised they didn't use Dante for some of the free kicks, but maybe they wanted Dante in up front to convert. Jackie. Jackie's a good, solid, strong player. Good defensive game. A no nonsense kind of defender. He plays well. He augments the defense. For me, he makes too many errant passes. There are times when he's not under pressure and he just gives the ball away. It happened too much against Bermuda. It happened a bit against Curacao, much less against Bermuda. But it's something he has to look at. I don't know if his nerves or what, but his defensive work is quite good. His distribution, he could work on it a bit, and I'm sure he'll get better. He looks like he has the makings of a good player. Well, Malik Jesse Rampasad. No, so Monique Khan, sorry. Monique Jesse Khan and Rampasad. I know I wasn't too enthusiastic about them in the past, and some people were. In the past, I've looked at players who I thought could hold their own on the team, but they weren't having a lot of impact, and we needed to do better. Doesn't mean I thought they were bad, but that's what I thought. before this match, I made it a point of focusing on Rampasad and Molikan. I wrote down their numbers because even though I have a big screen, sometimes you don't know who the player is. You can't always recognize their face, and I wanted to see the numbers. And thank God I did this. Long story short, Monique and Rampasad had good games, good defending, good passes here and there, nice roughing up of players, which is very important. Um, with let's start with Monique. Twice he did some nice backheel passes, and thank God I wrote down the number. Because when he did the first backheel pass, the commentator called him Spicer. When he did the second backheel pass, the commentator referred to him as Dante Seeley. And as I said, I had the numbers written down, and I realized it was Monique, and he had a good solid game. Rampasad had a good solid game. Even when he was off the ball, he was roughing up players, and he was doing something. And they were a strong, decent presence in the midfield. I don't know why Phillips didn't start, but I'm sure Dwight has the answer to that. Um, so good. You notice I get to know like everybody else, and the reason is maybe I grew up in a different era, but I grew up in an era where we had midfielders who weren't just skillful, but their distribution was impeccable. Forget Latapi, okay? You don't want to compare people to Latapi. We're talking Dwarika, we're talking Terry St. Louis, we're talking Thomas, we're talking Trent Noel. I know I'm forgetting somebody, I know I'm forgetting some names. And before that, you had fellas like Sammy Llewellyn and so on. I say this with the greatest of respect. Rampasad and Molikan with a catch tail to make a Trinidad and Tobago's second 11 in the 1990s. And I've said it in the past, Garcia with a catch tail to make the first 11 in the 1990s. And that is not an insult to these gentlemen. It is the plethora of talent we had in the midfield and up front back in those days. All right, so I'm glad that Rampasad is kind of playing well. I'm glad that Phillips is there, and hopefully we'll get someone like John Paul Rochford who can distribute, even a Muckett. We've already talked in the past about why they're not in the team, so I'm not going to repeat that. Payne, Deron Payne, I didn't see him do much wrong in his 2 games for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm very happy that he's there. We now have a lot of depth. Before I forget, I'm happy too bad about this Trinidad and Tobago defense now. We have continued to improve. I just wish it had happened faster. I know I'm going to forget some names. That's how many good defenders we have right now. We have Raymond. We have Henry. We have Trimmingham. We have Cardinez. We have Payne. We also have Jermaine Jackie. We have Noah Powder, who did a good job as left back in a previous match, who can't even get on the team now. We have, I believe his name is Justin Garcia, who had a great Gold Cup, can't get 1 minute of football. We have Alvin Jones, who can't even make the team. So we're starting to look really nice in the defensive area. We have really improved there. And a lot of them are strong guys, no-nonsense defenders. You can't push around. Okay? So let me talk about this second place. At first, I was reasonably happy. I said, we still have a shot for second place. We still have a shot. Once I came down, I realized it's not just the second place, but it is also, pardon me, I'll glitch on the computer. It's not just the second place, but also of the 3 groups, the 2 best second place teams will go to the Intercontinental Playoffs. No. So let's talk about our second place and how we could get this. First of all, I predicate everything on that Trinidad will win its next 2 home matches. And everybody will beat Bermuda. If this is the case, let's talk about Curacao and Jamaica. If Curacao wins or draws versus Jamaica, we will automatically come second. Okay. If Jamaica wins, we'll be tied with Curacao for second spot on 11 points. It'll be up to the goal difference. And this is why we got to hammer Bermuda in our last match. And this is why I wasn't happy with that 3-0 win in Bermuda. After 50 minutes, 3-0, I wanted to see 4 or 5 goals. And such was not the case. And I'm hoping we can bang 4 or 5 in Trinidad because we'll need that goal difference. If we lose or draw versus Jamaica, we're out. Forget about it, all right? We're gone. Okay, but now this is where your boy might get nominated for the Nobel Prize. I did some math. Einstein, eat your heart out. We could top the group. Top the group, you say? Pourquoi? Well, let me explain to you. We could top. I have my notes here. We could top the group if Curacao draws or loses to Bermuda and draws in Jamaica. As I repeat that, if Curacao goes to Bermuda, they draw or lose, and they draw in Jamaica, we'll top the group. If Curacao draws or loses in Bermuda and loses in Jamaica, we'll come second. So that would be a hell of a thing, for Curacao to go to Bermuda and lose, but then go to Jamaica and draw. But it is possible. Not so much with the Bermudans, but anything is possible in life. So let's talk about the schedule. November 13th, Bermuda will host Costa Rica. TNT will play Jamaica in Trinidad. November 18th, final matches, Jamaica hosts Curacao and TNT will host Bermuda. Now, let us talk about the other teams in the second place. Remember, of the three second place teams, only the top two will go. We have a distinct advantage again for everybody who might fall into a second spot. In the other groups, it is Panama in Group A and Costa Rica in Group C, who are in the second spots. And the advantage we have over them and Jamaica and Curacao is we are the only team that will have two consecutive matches at home. Everybody else, Costa Rica and Panama has one away, one at home. Jamaica, one away, one at home, and of course, Curacao, two away. We have a distinct advantage. And as I said, we have two consecutive home games. If we cannot beat Jamaica and Port of Spain, we shouldn't be going to the World Cup. We put ourselves in that position. Now, let's talk about Costa Rica and Panama. Costa Rica, November 13th, they are away to Haiti. November 18th, they will host Honduras. Neither game is a guaranteed win. I'm hoping the Haitians don't have it wrapped up, so they will have to play their hearts out in Haiti or Port-au-Prince, wherever this game is. And Costa Rica will, of course, struggle. Costa Rica versus Honduras. Yes, Costa Rica is the favorite, but again, nobody's a guaranteed a win at home. Remember, Costa Rica was 2-0 up against Haiti and drew the match 3-all. Guatemala, Panama. Now, Panama will be away to Guatemala on November 13th, and then they will host El Salvador on November 18th. Guatemala just struggled to a 1-all draw in Panama. Let me say that again. Panama just struggled to a 1-all draw against Guatemala in Panama. Okay, now they got to go away to Guatemala. Now, Panama hosting El Salvador, it looks like Panama should win that game. But let's talk about El Salvador. El Salvador started off with a bang. They won in Guatemala. But then they lost 3 consecutive games at home. But every game they lost by one goal, just one goal. So it is possible that El Salvador could go to Panama and surprise them. It is possible, with a draw even. It's possible. I mean, they're not that bad. It is certainly possible. Nobody thought Haiti was going to come from 2-0 down and draw with Costa Rica. Guatemala just went to Panama and drew. So, it is certainly possible. So both Costa Rica and Panama must win their next 2 games. And then our second spot will be irrelevant. They'll be better than us. But if they even draw 1 game, we should be able to pip them. Again, this is predicated on the fact that we will win both our games. And then, of course, it's the intercontinental playoffs. It'll be 6 teams and 2 groups of 3. The lower ranked teams will play each other, and then they'll play the top team in their group, and they will then go to the World Cup. We'll talk about that later. That's another video. But I will tell you, expect us to be against the lower ranked teams, which means we'll probably have to play 2 matches if we make it to the Intercontinental Cup. We are 101 in the world. Even if we beat Jamaica, best we could probably rise to is 85 or 80, which probably wouldn't impress anybody. But we could talk about that later. So, hey, I would like to finish the video. All right. So that is it. What could really upset the apple cart for everybody is if Bermuda wins or draws against their next match against Curacao. It doesn't seem likely, but upsets take place all the time. I think it was Luxembourg just won in Sweden. Shocked everybody. Let me give you a little inspiration. In the past, in the last 35 years, but in World Cup qualifiers, Barbados has beaten Costa Rica. St. Vincent has beaten Mexico. When we had no chance in 2001, we went to Honduras. Honduras hit the bar 6 times. We won 1-0, which basically put them out of the World Cup. We, embarrassingly, have drawn with Bermuda, lost to Guyana, and drawn with Bahamas. When the USA was looking to qualify for the, I believe it was the 2018 World Cup, they came to Trinidad just needing a draw. We beat them 2-1. Nobody gave us a chance in that match. In 2023, we went to the Gold Cup, and Gazif had no preparation. Coming out of COVID-19, he started off with 9 defenders against Mexico. Nobody thought we could win. We didn't just draw the match, we came close to scoring twice in injury time. So these upsets can happen. Can Bermuda do it? I don't think so, but I have been proven. That's why they call upsets. Upsets can happen. Bermuda did go to Curacao and do what Jamaica and Trinidad couldn't do. They scored 2 goals. All right, it was 2-all for a very long time. They came from 2-0 down, scored 2 goals in 20 minutes. So I am hoping the Bermudans have some pride and bad mind, and that would make my Trinidad's life a lot easier. So that's it. We just have to win our next 2 matches. And people say, we're out of it. No, we're not out of it. We still have a chance. But we put ourselves in this precarious position by not winning at home. And this is how you qualify for a World Cup. You win at home and you win abroad. Everybody beaten Bermuda abroad, so that don't count. But we grabbed valuable points um, in, in Curacao. So I'm wishing the Warriors the best. The defense is getting better. I was hoping the grandparent rule would kick in and we get one or two players. Not seeing that, but wishing Dwight York and the Warriors the best. I had a mind that we could get some points in Curacao, and we did. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't. Can we beat Jamaica and Trinidad? We definitely can. It won't be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Talking about Jamaica, quick history. Last 35 years, we have not won a World Cup qualifier against the Jamaicans. We played them 5 times, drawn 1, lost 4. All right? We overdue for a win. That's it. This video is long enough. Getting anxious here. So I believe in our Warriors. I wish them the best. God bless Dwight York. God bless the Soca Warriors. God bless the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And God bless Bermuda. Maybe they can have an upset against Curacao.